The crowd was buzzing with anticipation, the kind of electric energy that precedes a night of laughter, applause, and stories. The stage lights cut through the darkness of the packed auditorium, highlighting a single figure adjusting his microphone. Trevor Noah, world-renowned comedian and master of satire, scanned the room with his signature sly grin. He thrived on these moments, the laughter, the gasps, the occasional awkward silence, but tonight, he had a special target in mind: Kennedy. Kennedy sat quietly near the front row, his posture relaxed but composed. He had traveled thousands of miles from his small hometown, leaving behind a life of predictable routines to chase a dream of public speaking. Tonight was a chance to be seen, to be heard, and perhaps, to inspire. But he couldn't ignore the nervous flutter in his chest as the audience waited for Trevor's sharp wit to land. Trevor began with his usual flair, poking fun at politics, culture, and society, but then, as if drawn by instinct, he zeroed in on Kennedy. "And look at our friend here," he said, pointing casually, straight out of the storybook with that accent. "Tell me, Kennedy, do you even pronounce your own name correctly?" Laughter rippled through the crowd, some good-natured, some cruelly sharp. Kennedy felt a pang in his chest, a familiar tug of discomfort he'd carried all his life. His accent, shaped by his upbringing, by his family, by the streets that had molded him, had often made him feel like an outsider, a character in someone else's story. For a heartbeat, Kennedy considered retreating inward, letting the laughter wash over him. But then he remembered why he was here. He remembered the long nights of preparation, the people who had believed in him when he doubted himself, the countless small victories that had brought him to this stage. And so, he rose, taking a slow, deliberate step forward. The room quieted, sensing something was about to shift. Kennedy's voice, soft but unwavering, carried across the auditorium. "Trevor," he began, a small, warm smile tugging at the corner of his lips, "you're very funny. You have a gift for making people laugh. But you know, when I first learned English, my accent was the only way people could recognize me. It told them who I was, where I came from." Trevor raised an eyebrow, intrigued by the sudden turn. Kennedy continued, his words measured, each one carrying a quiet dignity. "I know my accent might sound different to you, or to some of you here. But it is part of my story. And every story deserves to be heard, every voice deserves to be respected. I speak with the voice I was given, but I hope that you'll listen to the words, not just the sound." A hush fell over the crowd. The laughter had stopped. Eyes that had been squinting in amusement now widened in admiration. Trevor's own smile softened, the mischievous spark replaced by genuine respect. He leaned back slightly, as if taking a moment to absorb the lesson delivered.